So this month, we're talking about how the Grinch is really going to steal Christmas this year. And it's a sad, sad event. So about 22 days ago, Anna Cole over at Bloomberg did an analysis and a report and demonstrated there were about 38 container ships offshore just from the Los Angeles Long Beach port, almost all from the Asia region. Those ships each contain between 20 to 40,000 TFEs. A TFE stands for 20-foot equivalent containers. So we just started to do our research, and we have every day since then, for the last 22 days, we've been following containers stuck on ships or stuck in port. Remember, we're headed towards the Christmas season. September and October is where about 65 to 75% of all consumer products from Asia move towards North America and also towards Europe. And so this morning, about 2 hours ago, we updated the document. And so here's the count today. About 61 vessels are now stuck in port in Los Angeles, Long Beach area. So that's up from 30 something up to 61. And this has become an immense problem. That doesn't count 17 that are actually sitting in a staging area. That also doesn't count the 38 now that are sitting in Gateway Port up in Vancouver, 24 in San Francisco this morning, 4 in Stockton. It's actually an inland port in California, 9 in the Seattle ports, 12 in Ensenada, Mexico, and 3 in San Diego. That's a total of 141 container ships. That's over 825,000 containers. I want you to think about this. You want to talk about the Grinch? The Grinch today looks like a container ship sitting at anchor. There are 825,000 or more containers sitting on those ships that are not going to make it. Likely, a lot of them are not going to make it for the Christmas season. Now, there's more than just toys and electronics on those. There's also fertilizer. There's also all kinds of other products that are necessary for agriculture for both the Midwest. There's the story of an Iowa farmer who's been waiting for 4.5 months now for his container load of fertilizer to show up. They need to till that into the soil in late fall or early winter, getting ready for the spring season, planting season. That has not even left the Asian port yet. And so if you think about that coming back across the ocean, it will sit in queue for a long time. Here's the message. This logistics nightmare is brought about by a number of factors. Obviously, the pandemic is one of them, but there's other factors there, including the talent shortage. And just to add insult to injury, Hari, we have an enormous trucking shortage in the United States. Once we get those containers unloaded, now we have to find a way to get them. And we have a 25% driver shortage in the United States now. So fertilizers aren't going to make it. Therefore, we can expect food prices along with toy prices to go up, huge shortages. Is there anything we can do about this? Well, let me tell you. For Christmas season, do your shopping this weekend. I'm serious. Get out and do your shopping this weekend. And by the way, if you have an extra space in your freezer, fill it up. Because food prices, there's laws of nature, there's laws of gravity, there's laws of physics, there's laws of economics, and there are clearly laws in the supply chain world, and this is not going to get fixed overnight. We actually believe it's going to take about 2 years to solve. We have about 35% of all the airline pilots that were furloughed and bringing back have to go through extensive retraining before they can fly in order to meet all the FAA rules in North America. And so we're not going to be able to move it with aircraft because we've actually furloughed about 18% of all the aircraft. We've got pilots, about 25 to 30% of all the pilots that need some extensive retraining. We have the shortage of trucks, and we have containers all in the wrong spot and ships all in the wrong spot and people and talent shortages. This is painting itself into probably the single largest logistics nightmare in the history of supply chain, not just in North America, but all across the world. Europe is feeling exactly the same thing, although in slightly smaller numbers, but exactly the same problem. So don't let the Grinch steal your Christmas. This is a really good weekend to go out Christmas shopping. And just think of it. You don't have to go through the snow and the ice that you would in early December, or like those of me who think that Christmas Eve was invented for Christmas shopping. We don't have to slog through all the bad weather. You can do it this weekend in September. That's all I have for today.
So my curious and quirky topic is Roomba for weeds. This topic is, I think, very interesting because it brings new capabilities to satisfy customers' needs. And it also is, from a competitive standpoint, very interesting. We're all familiar with Roomba for vacuuming our homes, and now you can use a Roomba type device to actually mow your lawns. My neighbor has one. I sit and watch it a lot. So it's nice to be able to hand off these chores to someone or something. While I was on a recent flight, I found this article in Real Leaders, and it was about the autonomous weeder that carbon robotics is providing. It can destroy up to 100,000 weeds an hour. So it uses GPS through the fields and AI to identify the weeds. And then in milliseconds, it zaps the weeds and it doesn't touch the crops. It can do about 20 acres a day, which is 20 times more than a human can. So we've been helping leading agricultural companies for years, and we saw the advances in GPS and satellite guided robotics to help with the crops, being able to maintain them. But it always kind of seemed like a Star Wars thing. So, it's interesting from a competitive standpoint because we have a saying that says direct competitors can hurt you and indirect competitors can kill you. Now, direct competitors, these are the competitors that satisfy our customers' needs, and they do it pretty much the same way that we do. The indirect competitors, they use an entirely different approach to address those needs, a lot of new different technologies. So we discount them often. We think, they're really not real competitors. So it's important for us to be able to identify some of these things that are coming along. So if you're an agricultural supplier, you provide the herbicides, which are chemical weed killers, or you're a large farm equipment company, what do you do when a very smart, much more productive, environmentally friendly competitor comes along and takes on an industry as significant as this? You could continue to talk about the proven benefits of your products. A lot of companies do that. Or you could actually expand it and expand your offering and incorporate some of these capabilities in and cooperate potentially with these other providers. So when you look at these types of platforms, it's important to look across different industries because sometimes you don't see it coming. So look across and see how disruption may be happening in one place that may potentially come into your market so that you can be proactive, or at least you can be, quickly reactive. So on the robotics case, how could robotics with AI and GPS somehow impact your industry? Especially, as Alan was saying, if you're in a business where there's a labor shortage or labor challenged, can you somehow leverage some of these applications to satisfy your customer needs in entirely new ways? So thank you.